and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we making a quick and easy hamburger helper slash cheeseburger mac, whichever one you want to call it, hamburger helper. Okay, if you know, you know. I grew up eating this, so let's get into it. So first off, I'm using some ground beef, like maybe like a pound or so. Enough. I'm using enough ground beef because I had a lot, so I just basically cut what I had in half, and I'm using that. So we're just gonna get a nice brown to the meat. I haven't put no seasonings on it, nothing like that. Okay, let's put the top on that and let that brown. Okay, now I've grated up some cheddar cheese and some pepper jack. Those are the cheeses of choice, and I actually mixed them together, like basically just mixed it up and put them all in the same bag. So you know. So, yeah, after I shredded the cheese, I went back to the ground beef and I'm basically, while I was about halfway done, I knew it is. If I had the meat masher, I would do that, but all I had was this masher, which I usually use for my mashed potatoes, like for potatoes and stuff like that, but it worked. It did the mash. It did what I needed it to do. Okay. And that's what matters. Okay. That's what matters. So then I'm using an onion because the onion adds flavor. Okay. It adds so much flavor, guys. Okay. Just trust me on this. I know you do because you're watching this. You know what I do. You know what's up. You know. So I'm just going to give it a nice stir. And, just I'm gonna end up putting the top on it because I like to put the top on things a lot and let it cook and leave it alone. I believe in leaving things alone because it has to become one. Okay, the onions gotta marry the ground beef and then they gonna become a family. And you're gonna see how well it plays out. The family just gonna grow. Okay. Everything has to become one though. Everything has individual flavor and it has to become one. Okay. So I'm just breaking up some of the onions that was like kind of chunked up, things like that. Okay, just breaking it up, getting it right. Okay, and this how I look. This after I put the top on it for a little bit. Now it's about done cooking, but since I'm gonna be adding stuff to the meat anyway, well, you see the pink, it ain't done, but you get what I'm saying. So then this is the only tomatoes I had because this was an experiment. Like I always say, I be saying it a lot, but I'm not lying. It was an experiment, and so I'm using these tomatoes that I was gonna use for chili. Like I use what I have. This is one of those. We got food at the house. I literally use just about everything I had in the house. Okay, I think I might have had to get more cheese at the most, but everything else I already had in the house because I gotta keep things handy. You never know what you need to do in a crunch. So I just poured the whole can of tomatoes in there. It was the hunched tomato. It said for chili or something. You'll see. Just rewind back to that if you want to get I'll say Pacifics. The specifics. Okay. So now we're going to go in with the seasoning. And I'm starting off with my roasted garlic and pepper seasoning. A little bit of garlic sea salt. Okay. Get it in there. Make sure you don't put a lot. Just make sure you just get a lot of just get it in there. Just make sure it's evenly. Just get it. See, we just gonna get it seasoned up right. Okay. That's all I'm saying. So I added a little bit of minced garlic, a little bit of Creole seasoning. Everything gonna be at the bottom, of course. But I just like to, for some reason, I just wanted to actually show you this time. It helps me remember too, because sometimes I don't upload the videos right away. So I'll be having to look back too sometimes. So bear with me, okay? I usually rotate the same seasons. That's why sometimes not that hard, because sometimes all I gotta do is really just look and see what the seasoning look like, and I could tell. But with this, since it's kind of like saucy, I had to do this. Just to be safe. Because the seasonings are mixed right in with that red. You ain't going to be able to see nothing. Okay. So go ahead and give it a mix. And I poured the whole can of those tomatoes in there. But then I had put a little bit of water in the can just to get the rest of that little juice out. You got to get all the juices out of the cans. Okay. A little water never hurt. I poured that in there. And then this is on like a medium heat. Okay. Medium heat. Make sure you taste it. Because at this time, the meat is done. Like, it's done. The sauce is thickened, as you can see. And once the sauce thickens, add in your elbow noodles. Elbow macaroni noodles. And the sauce ain't even got to be completely thickened, but just cooked a little bit, okay? And then, because we're going to add water to it, so it don't really matter if the sauce does thicken before you add the noodles. But after you add the tomatoes, then you're going to add in the sauce. I'm sorry, no. After you add in tomatoes, then you go add in the elbow macaroni noodles, and then I added in some water. I basically added in enough water to make sure that it will be enough sauce. So basically, doing like similar to how the hamburger helper be, because they'll tell you exactly how much to put in there. But with this, I'm eyeballing it. So I start off with a cup. Then this was after the second cup. Clearly, I need more water. So what I'm gonna do? Add more water. Okay. Just adding enough until it looks sufficient. Until it's kind of like not completely submerged, but the noodles need to be in the juices. It needs to be in the liquid. So once it was sufficient to me, I put the top on that. And this is how it looked as it was thickening. It has thickened. When you put a simmer on it, and at that point, when I put the top on it for the noodles, it still was on that medium-ish heat. Okay. At this point, you can start to lower it because you're gonna be starting to add the cheese now. Okay. So as you see, it started to thicken. It's thickened up. Okay. That little simmer did what it needed to do. It simmered this thing. Okay. That's what we needed. And at this point, once again, taste. Make sure you're tasting. Make sure the noodles done. Make sure you're doing what you gotta do. Okay. As you can see, it wasn't done for me, so I just gave it another simmer. And right here, it's done, baby. I still haven't added no cheese yet, okay? I have not added any cheese. So don't fret. I'm just letting it thicken up before I add the cheese. That's just my personal preference. If it starts to get a little too thick or whatever, you can, if you got some more tomatoes, you can add some more tomatoes. If you got like some chicken broth, or beef broth, if you got some beef broth, you can add that. Or just add more water. If you want it to just be a little bit more thickened. You know what I'm saying? Because the noodles will dry it out. So you saw me add a little bit more water. So I added a little bit of water. And then I'm just starting to add the cheese in. I'm adding slowly. Because if you want to top it with cheese, once it's done, you can do that too. You know, you can do that. You can top it with whatever you want. Okay. Whatever your heart desires, do it. Okay. Just do it. That's what I be doing. I do whatever my little heart desires. Okay. It's a new year. We on bigger and better things. Positivity, guys. We gonna do whatever we need to do. And this was my secret weapon. That Worcestershire sauce. The W sauce. That's the secret weapon for this type of thing right here. Any type of meals, like I said, for chicken meals, for beef meals, anything. Put a little bit of that W sauce on there. That flavor gonna go crazy. Do you hear me? It's gonna go crazy. I really be laughing at myself because I just watch the screen and tell you what's going on, you know. I love watching my recipes back though, so it's like it's fun for me too. But yeah, we just giving it a mix. Add more cheese, add more seasoning, add whatever you need to add. This is the finalization point. You see, I'm adding more seasoning. I like to add more of the roasted garlic and pepper seasoning, that salt-free McCormick's seasoning. Oh, that's my favorite. That is my favorite salt-free seasoning. It smells so good just by itself. Like, OMG. I add a little bit of that. All I got to do is add like a dash of salt. Like, I don't be needing much salt for real. Because most of these seasonings are heavily salted. And they got a lot of sodium. So, I don't be needing too much salt, you know. It's cool. I don't like stuff that's too salty anyway. I've learned from my mistakes. I was real salty as a youngin. When I first started out with the cooking, I was real salty, but it was just because I wasn't tasting as I was going for real. Like, I don't even like salt like that. That's why my food used to be so salty, and yeah. Anyway, I'm getting besides the point. But this is it. Look at this. Screenshot that. Look at that. Creaminess, dreaminess. OMG, this was delicious, y'all. It was delicious. Oh, masterpiece. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy making this as much as I enjoy eating it and making it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because I hope you did. I'll be back for more recipes. We in a new year. Cheers to 2023. We on the bigger and better things. Okay. Leave me some love, y'all. Let me know if you got some recommendations. You want me to make something, anything like that, just let me know. Because either way, I got more coming. Look at that. That close-up, something crazy. And of course, I had to plate it. Okay. I had to plate that thing. That creaminess. Okay. But yeah, gotta go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Make sure your notifications are on. so you can get a notification every time I drop. Okay? Love you.